I don't even know why I feel led to share this with y'all, but I feel led to share this with y'all. I do not have a man in my life that I can turn to or go to and ask for help, assistance, or anything. I only have the Lord. The Lord is my husband. The Lord is my man. The Lord is the one that I talk to and I commune with and I communicate with and everything. There is not one particular man that I can always go to when I need some kind of help. That is not what God has allowed to happen in my life. And some people, are ashamed to come out and say, this is how I'm living and this is what I do. But I'm not ashamed because I am living for God. I am living for Christ. Everything about my life over the last 5 years, I can say, has truly been because of God doing it. I don't have to come out here and act like I got more than what I got, or I'm acting like I'm living better than what I'm living. Listen, I'm in ministry. All I can do is trust the Lord. And so from day to day, month to month, all I do is trust the Lord. That's the whole reason why we walking in this trusting faith ministry, because this is all God's doing every single day. Like I said in the video yesterday, trusting God is not easy. But God has not positioned people in my life to where I can always go to them because they are not my source. God is my source. And so when I am in situations when I don't know how this is going to get done and I don't know how that is going to get paid, all I can do is trust the Lord. God knows my need before I know my need. But I also know that God has put me here in front of the whole world for everybody to see what I'm going through. That's why I cannot be out here fronting to make it look like I'm doing better than what I'm doing. Every step of the way, God opens up the way for me to be able to share it with you. Y'all were watching us when we was on the road, going from state to state, from state to state. Then y'all watched how we were in Texas for months and months. And then how God decided to move us back here, how we were able to get into a place, not by our own hand, but by God's. This is all God's doing. And I know we sit up here and we think to ourselves like, okay, well, we're going to try to do this and we're going to try to do that and we're going to try to do this. And God is like, stop. Stop. That's not what I'm having you do. Trust me. Trust me. And let me tell you, over these last, I'm gonna go ahead and say over these last few years, the only way I have really truly been able to see things happen is by God moving random people. People that I don't know, people that I've never met, some people I ain't even talked to on the phone. God just moves people on behalf of Shera Speaks and Trust and Faith. Not because of me, well, because of my obedience to God, but not because I know them or not because I go to them and not because I say, hey, you know what? Can you help me with this? No, God just puts me on people's heart. And let me tell you, I know the whole reason why God has my life the way it is, because God is the one that's supposed to get the glory out of every single thing. And my whole life is to show you that God is faithful. My whole life is proof and evidence that even when you don't know where it's going to come from, God's got it. My entire life. So I'm going to go ahead and say this. God has us right now where we were able to get into this place, but I don't know how my rent's going to get paid today. I have no idea, but I tell you what, God knows. And I'm going to tell you what, I truly believe that God has a miracle in store, because let me tell you, I'm not supposed to worry about it. I'm not supposed to worry about it. I'm supposed to be focused on ministry because that's the main goal. There is so much that needs to be done in ministry. We cannot focus our minds on, oh my Lord, how are we going to eat? How are we going to have our rent paid? How are we going to have enough gas to get here? How are we going to be able to do this? How are we going to be able to do that? That is for God to take care of, not us. When I gave God my yes, that meant, God, whatever it is you want me to do, I will go through it. I will do it because I love you. And no matter what it looks like, I don't care what nobody thinks. I care what God thinks, because guess what? This world right here that we in, it shall pass away. This right here that we living in is not eternity. This is temporary. And so my story, my life is supposed to encourage you and somebody else. Because listen, I know I ain't the only one going through this. I know I'm not the only one going through this, but I also know that I'm not the one trying to figure it out. Oh my Lord, how am I going to do this? How am I supposed to figure this out? Oh Lord, well, no. I have to trust God because I have seen God come through miraculously. Time and time over and over again. So I'm going to sit here and I'm going to tell you, you stressing about some stuff. You worrying about how you going to get your rent paid. Trust God. That's what I'm doing. I'm trusting God because I don't know one day to the next how something is going to get done. God has not allowed us to go out and get jobs. I'm still waiting for God to take care of all of this because we have an overnight parking facility that we are to move forward in. That's going to cost millions of dollars. Do I know how I'm going to get millions of dollars? No, I don't. But I trust God. I know my assignment. I know my purpose, but I also know my God. And when I think about how big this assignment is, I know that I can't do it on my own. I know. And so I'm just being transparent and letting y'all know, listen, I'm dealing with the same stuff that y'all dealing with. Maybe sometimes even more drastic because I don't have any form of income. I just have God. I just have my trust and my belief and my faith in God. That's all I have. And I'm doing all of this in front of the whole world to see. And I know that the reason for this is for it to encourage you. I'm just a living example of what God can do, not just in my life, but in other people's lives.